Welcome back to Let's Clone. My name would be Stephen French, and this is part 4 of our Ice Climbers tutorial. Today we're going to try to finish up, or at least mostly finish up, our Topi's behavior. Right now we have him walking. He's able to kill the player, although that animation needs to be kind of polished up a bit, and he can die via the hammer. Now what we need him to do is we need him to look for a hole in the ice. In that case, if he does, he's going to run away at a faster speed, and then come back pushing a block of ice that will fill up to 2 cells or 2 chunks of ice on the ground. We might get to breaking that ice with a hammer as well and have it run through its death animation. We'll see how far we get. I've had some problems with this so far, so it's gonna be a sketchy one. First off, we're gonna need to put the ice block into the game. I guess we don't really need to do this first, but we're gonna. So create it from a strip. I already have it. Nope, this is the other type of ice block that we actually don't need at all. Create from strip. We've got here ice sprite sheet, 10 by 18. We got 3 images, and I did not erase color, but we can do that here. Erase that little green. Gochi. Its height is 18, whereas the Topi walking's height is 17. I don't know if that's going to change anything. Its Y is at 8, so let's just do that. Center this, put your Y at 8 just so it's in the same spot, I think. We'll figure it out. If it doesn't look right, we'll change it, but we don't need it to do anything right now. We're going to actually put that block into our solids. So now object, oh, I didn't name it before. Ice chunk. Oops. So we've got an ice chunk. Whoa, blocks. I'm gonna only give it 1 create event piece for right now just to have it not animate. Initialize ice chunk, chink. Image speed is equal to 0. I just want to change the name of this quick. Sprite, whoops, or. Wow. Not gonna be the best of typing. And then we have Popo. Alright, so Popo needs to do a few things, and we need to pay attention to, I believe... What am I not? Oh, I'm on Popo. I even said Popo, and that was stupid of me. Enemies. Topi. We're going to need to pay attention to his get ice variable. Is going to be quite important. For starters, let's check this out. So, here... This one we change, we're giving it a 50-50 chance for whether or not we change his direction or we send him to the other side of the stage. So we're setting him to the other side of the stage in this check right here, but I also want to add the condition that, and we are not getting ice. Because if we are getting ice, we don't want to change that. We want to be where we are and just turn around and run back. So that should be simple enough. So even if that would have read true and it wants to jump us to the other side, we're going to say no and run the else statement. That should be easy enough. We're going to say if get ice is true, then what we need to do is we need h speed to be equal to 2. So we're going to say h speed is equal to sine of h speed times 2. So let's see, if it's -2, or if it's -1, we need it to be -2. So that would be -1 times 2 would still be -2. I think that would be correct. And that's only if get ice occurs. Otherwise, HSP should just stay what it is. If we start running at a wacky speed, I'll know to look here. But that should never read true. But we will show debug message just so we can kind of get a live print. Getting ice. Now, we need to identify when he needs to get ice. Do I have my draw event? No, because I did that a little bit earlier. So let's just play the game really first and see what's going on. I might have changed where Popo is in the game, and I might have moved a block just so we can... I was playing with this stuff earlier. Okay, so yeah, we're only really paying attention to this guy right now. He's going to walk right over it because Where I messed up is I just kind of made the Popo not follow the same type of mechanics as... I made the Topi not follow the same mechanics as the Popo. That was dumb. I should have kept it pretty consistent. I could go back and change it, but I'm kind of doing this on purpose, just kind of working through it the rough way, because it just gives you another, I guess, idea on how to solve some of the problems. So since he's not paying attention to the ground, he doesn't actually know about it, he doesn't have any Y movement, he's only going left or right, I can't check for a collision or a lack of collision. So it's going to be a little bit tough. We have to kind of give him a pointer or like something to look at and then check if that is it on top of a block. Another thing that I could have done, could still do, probably should have done, would have been an easier solution, is to never actually destroy these blocks. When I hit them, I should make them invisible and then only check my collision for blocks that are visible, so we could just hit them and move through them. That way I could respawn them in a more simple fashion. Those are better solutions, and if you want to go ahead and try to play with implementing those, I encourage it. But I'm going to try to do this a clunky way. I don't know why, but it's just the way that I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a point in front of him, and I'm going to have that point check if it's touching a block. If it's not, or if it ends up touching nothing, I'm going to assume that it's a missing ice, and I'm going to set him to go get ice and to run away. So let's do this kind of in our draw event first. So we're going to do a step. No. We're going to do a draw. We're going to debug draw, I guess, because he doesn't actually need a draw event. But we're going to draw. I guess I can't quite have my mic here because it makes my hand position a little bit weird. Draw self. You always have to do that first. We're going to do a draw set color. Oh, I can't. We're going to do a C green. Sure. This is just going to be for our little test. I would like variable xx equals and a variable yy is equal to, here we have, we're going to do y plus sprite height divided by 2, and yeah, that'll just bring me down. His feet are a little bit overlapping, so that should be fine. X we want plus his whatever direction he's going. X plus the sine of each speed, maybe 10 pixels in front of him, times 10. We'll see what that is. Then we're going to draw a ellipse. No, it is draw circle. And I don't need to color it. So we're going to draw a circle at that point. It's going to be x, x, y, y. Radius of 2 doesn't really make a difference. Outline false. But then we're going to do a if position not meeting at x, x, y, y with a block parent. Okay, so if we're not touching a block at that exact position, then I will draw set color C fuchsia. So we're going to be pink. So it's going to be green. Unless we're not hitting anything, it's going to be pink. And then we're going to draw that in the same spot either way. So let's kind of see what happens here. I'm hoping that it works. Alright, so he's got a little green. It goes pink, goes back to green. Marvelous. Marvelous. Actually, I don't want the draws, but we're going to copy some of this. So, step event. Movement mechanics. We're going to get ice. If get ice is true, we're doing that. Else, so when we're not... I only want to do this when get ice is false, because when we're looking for it. So eventually we're going to set get ice to true, but that's fine. I don't need to yet. So we don't have a piece of ice at hand. We're not running anywhere. Get rid of this. We're looking for, this is our target location, and then right here, if it equals that. So we're going to do get, oops, I keep doing that, is equal to true. We're setting get ice to true, and I want to reverse HSP. The first frame he's going to walk at normal speed. The next frame he's going to double his speed. I could probably just reverse these two, but whatever. We're gonna. It is what it is. HSP is equal to negative HSP. Actually, I could just do times 2 right here as well. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I do need to now, when I get to the edge of the map and I do come back, I need to change the speed. Actually, I think we already set get ice to false. I don't know. What we're hoping is that he's going to turn around and run away faster. Ding, 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 ding. And then we're getting ice, and he's still coming back fast, so that tells us something. He actually came back too fast to check, so that doesn't really matter to me, because that'll never happen. So we are on the outside of the room, changing. So here. If get ice is false, then we could change. Then no matter what, I think I can do it in here because I only want it to be within the room that any of this happens. We'll say if get ice is true, then get ice is equal to false. We also want to spawn create ice chunk. So we'll give that just a bit of a placeholder. So right now he should see the ice block, go back to the side, and yeah, that should work. Okay. I don't like that. So he can start randomly facing any directions. I think what happened is it ended up doing this little check when he was off screen. So if get ice is positive, I'm going to do that. Here, we're going to just confine him to being inside the game room in order for that to be set to true. And this is the only place that get ice can be set to true. So I think that this is the only place that we have the issue. So if, let's see, x is greater than sprite width, and x is less than room width minus sprite width. Hopefully that never throws us into that loop. Not a loop, but never throws us into that condition. And I'm going to kind of toggle the reset key a few times to see. So he can come from the left side. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them coming from either side. I just want to give this a couple tries and make sure that none of them start looking for ice prematurely. Good. Now let's also test this to see if he runs to the right correctly. And he should walk back normally. He's still walking back hella quick, isn't he? So here. Let's do another temporary check that doesn't matter. I'm going to say if get ice. We're already printing that. But image blend is equal to C red. Else image blend is equal to C white. That way I can just delete this whole chunk after. But I don't want to deal with other guys at the moment, so let's delete you and delete you and delete you just for now. Only want to deal with the one. Don't want to get any calls for all the others. That should have set it to false when he runs out to the side. But I want to test from left to right, or left hand to right. So that's fine. Okay. So I'm just never setting his speed back, but I'm fine with that. So that's fine. Now here, good. So this is if I'm getting ice, if I'm within and I'm not. I'll just set it when we do the outside of the room. So we're outside of the room. So we're running this one because here we're checking if ice is false. In other words, we're setting ice to false. And then we say HSP is equal to sine of HSP. I think that'll be fine. It's usually not this easy because we're not usually working with a variable of 1. I guess we'll go from the right first. So he's going slow. He's going quick. He comes back slow. Perfect. Now let me get one raise on the left. Just want to check all the bases. Bang. He runs back. I like that it turns fuchsia for just a second, and he comes back slow. Perfect. Now when he comes back, we need to have created an ice block that is going to move in the same direction, I guess the same pace as him. I don't know if he needs access to this, but yeah. Instance create, and this would happen after he's turned around. Okay. So instance create x, y, we're just going to do this for now. Object ice chunk. Now I want it to be x plus sprite width times the sine of his horizontal speed. Now I need to push the block. So I think I'm going to need the ice chunk to pay attention to that, because I could create a variable that just like an ice variable in Topi's create event, and then if it's equal to no one and have it start off set as no one, do nothing, but if it's equal to someone, then have it push. Or I can just tell it to get pushed by its nearest Topi, or I can just give it the same move at speed and have it move in that direction. So yeah, we're actually going to do it that way. See if that works out. So it'll look like he's pushing it, but he won't be pushing it. Oh, but if I kill the Topi, then he will need to stop being pushed as well, won't he? Well, that could be interesting. Nah, I don't want to do it that way. That's whack. That is whack. Yeah, you know what? We're going to have... I'm going to give him a chunk is equal to instance create. We'll just call it ice. Ice is equal to instance create. We're going to come into our create event. We're going to do a ice is equal to no one. So then outside of the room, we've just created ice actually equal to something. We're going to say step get ice push ice if ice does not equal no one. I'm kind of winging it on this part. Then with ice x plus equals other dot hsp, and then in the next step we do the same thing for the player. So they should move at the same speed. Having it actually tied or having a chain between the ice and the Topi, again, will make it easier, so when we kill the Topi, if we're killing him exclusively, then the ice won't break. So he's gonna, or then the ice will break with him. He's gonna turn around, zip back. Hopefully he's gonna grab a block of ice. He did. It's behind him. It's so close. It's so close to working well. Now there's probably two of them behind it, but all right. Let's get him coming from the other side and just see what happened. Okay. So that one works for some silly reason. Heh, that's funny. Why does this one not work? Oh, it's got to be something to do with... There's something silly going on when you switch the... when you flip like the X scale of an image, it ends up just screwing me over quite a bit. So X plus or equals to... so that it's moving at the correct speed in the correct direction. So I think our problem is when we've created it. His width is what's giving me the issue. So let me give the absolute value of his width. This could work. If his sprite image isn't reversed yet, because we have right set to his kind of default and then left is his -1, I've changed the sign or the direction of his speed, but I haven't actually flipped his image. So I could be pulling a negative image width. He gets the ice, he comes back, he pushes it in front of him. That is perfect. I do want this to render in front of the blocks, but that doesn't bother me too much. Good, 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 good. So what I can do for here is actually want to lower this a little bit. So 9 was probably the better option. I'm gonna go back to 9 just for that for now. We'll polish things up at a later time. Cool. So now if the ice is over, which this actually could be a bit of an easier one with a nice chunk here, step, fill gap, I guess, if not position meeting from x, y plus sprite height, nope, divided by 2, because I think there's a pixel overlap, so we should be fine with that. If not, I'll add another one to it. Block parent, I fucked that up so many times. Then we're gonna say instance destroy. Just for now, it's not gonna work. We're gonna end up telling Topi to run back and fix whatever his problem was. Now this can get tricky because finding the right spot to place the block is going to be a pretty difficult thing for me to do here. It's not actually difficult, it's just kind of going to be tedious. Well, let's see first if it pops. It popped and he goes back to get another one because it scared him that it popped. Okay, that's perfect. That's enough in front of him that we could get that block there before Topi actually hits it. I think I don't want to do sprite width. What is the width of a Topi? His width is 18, but it's a bit farther than I want. Let's try 12, just so it's moved in 6 pixels, and that way we don't have to worry about any of that negative number. Just in the game, the block of ice is a little bit closer to Topi, so I want it to look a little bit more like that. But he runs away faster, which is what we want. He comes back and he's pushing it. There should still be enough time for us to create the block before Topi is there. I want to do 14 though, because that's just a little bit close. Cool, we've got that. Now here, we destroy the ice, which we do want to do, but let's do something. First, we need to create up to 2 blocks. So I need to find block just before. And how are these? These are top left. Okay. That might not be too bad. So variable nearest block is equal to oh, I could always have him point to a block as he's walking. And then the moment that it's not a block, I can just point to the last one. I don't know if he needs to update all the time. So when I stop pointing to one, I want to look just backwards a couple steps, because it means we just came out of one. So variable, we're just doing underscore block. I don't care. Is equal to instance position. We're going to do this exact position, but we're going to update the x just a little bit. But I want to do x minus sign of, but he doesn't have his own horizontal speed, does he? Fuck. Ignore this line for just a second. We're actually going to come into our chunks create event, and we're going to give him a direction is equal to 1. Make it a 0 just because we'll, on the initialization of this, we'll set it to something. So now we come into our Topi outside a room when we create this. So we're going to say ice.dir is equal to the sign of horizontal speed. And we know that that works even though the image x scale is all flipped, but now if it's positive, it's positive, it's negative, it's negative. So we know what way the ice block is facing. So we're going to come into our ice chunk, step. All right, so we know that 1 pixel beneath us is not a block that we want. So we need to minus our direction times 4. The blocks are 8 wide, so this should be fine. We're not going to be moving at a speed of 2. We'll be moving at a speed of 1, so this should check 4 pixels behind us. for the correct block. Block is instance position. Yes, okay. So here we're gonna say if block is not equal to no one, so we actually have an understanding of what type of block we're gonna need to create, then we're going to do instance create at block.x. We're gonna have to move where it is. Block.y. I need to create a certain block. I don't think I can just call block that. We're gonna create a blue one just for the time being. Actually, is my block parent, is this the same size as ape8? No. We're gonna create a blue one just so we know. We can deal with that shit later. Object block blue. Oh, yeah, bottom layer is not blue. Is it? What color is at the bottom of this? Green. Good. So we'll create a blue one. It'll look out of place. We'll be able to find it. But we need it to go in the direction of our facing direction. So we're going to say plus dir times, this is block.sprite width. And we never rotate the image of the blocks, so that should be fine. We place a block there. We're going to destroy our guy. That, who fucking knows? But that might work. Who fucking knows? But that might work. Aw, well, who fucking knows? But that might work. So he's going to boop, run away. I gotta delete that, but we're pushing it back. We're pushing it back. Please make a blue block. Bingo, bango, zingo, zango. All right. I just want to test him from, yep, coming from the right. Runs away, comes back. Bang. Neat. All right, so we got that. We got that done. Let's come up into our Topi, our step event. I just want to get rid of this draw statement because we don't need that anymore. He's pushing the ice just fine and dandy. So then we're going to say if he gets attacked, we can do an if ice is not equal to no one with ice instance. There we go. I actually had it right one of those times. No. I'll never win. Alright, so if we kill him, ice will automatically destroy. We will try to kill the ice block later, and we do need to... The ice block needs to know what color it needs to be. So here, we're going to say type is equal to... We'll get the green one first. Block green. I'm cool with that. We're going to do step. If block does not equal no one, switch. So this is not. So switch for block dot sprite index. So sprite is index is sprite blue, and this should only have the chance to be full size ones. Oops, so case sprite block blue. Yeah, break. If it is blue, then type is equal to object block blue. We've only got blue, brown, and green. So actually we'll do green first. Green, we're going to change it to green. If it is blue, no, we'll do brown next. Brown, then we're going to change it to brown. If it's blue, it's going to be blue. Here we will do type. All right, now we still need to do the second one, but let's run a couple checks. Pretty much, if I just do it with the map. So, yeah, we're just going to bring this guy back down here, and we're just going to give this Topi something to fill in. We're going to give Topi here. See if they both fill it with the correct color, and let's see if it works from both directions again, just as a simple check. I do also, actually, we're going to do this now. No! Get rid of that. Get rid of this. We're going to have 2 missing. Just to see what happens when there's 2 missing, because we will, if everything works well now, he's going to fill in 1 space and he's going to run away and grab another block. So if that does work, then we're going to check. We're going to put in the function for him to place 2 blocks. So come back, make a green one. Nice, and then he's going to run away. That is perfect. Put a green one down. Perfect. Next, meme. Let's get rid of this guy because we don't need him there. We'll run the double check with this one, but we're going to actually do a triple check because it should place 2 when we're done. And we'll check them for both directions. We'll get this shit going. Ice chunk. Fill the gap. Now, this is if block does not equal no one. So we have something that we're going to instance create. So then we're going to check another one. I'm going to say if no instance position at I guess our X for this one I want plus direction times 8 because I want to check the next cell up. Y plus right height divided by 2 block parent. If I see nothing pretty much a space ahead, then I want to create one more, but I want to create it in a slightly different place. I'm doing it plus direction blocked dot sprite width times 2. We're gonna see. This part I'm the least I guess confident with. But hey, it might work. It might work. So he's gonna see it. Getting scared, run away. I gotta get the ice. I gotta fill the ice. Come on back. I'm gonna pop. He popped 2 of them. Yeah. He's gonna come back. He's gonna fill this gap. One more time. He's gonna go get the ice. He's gonna come back. He's gonna fill this gap. God damn, I've got to get this going. Again, it's a super shitty way to solve some of these issues, but we're solving some of these issues. I just wanted to check that double gap again. Bang, and then ooh, I should test it with like an actual 2 gap. So I'll do that after this as a real quick test. Bang. Okay. Yeah. So killing him does do that appropriately. Whoa. You dick. So now that we have that part figured out, we can put the other Topis back where we found them. Again, just on the odd sections. That creates both of those. A little bit of an issue with the Topi himself. So here we're doing if get ice if. Well, I'll put all this in an if. Actually, I'll come back one. If is alive. I don't even want him pushing the ice if he is not. So if he's alive, get the ice, get all that jazz done. Otherwise, he should just be running away. Sorry to cut this one a little bit short, but we have the Topi finished. The ice chunk isn't finished. We still need to be able to interact with that. We need to be able to, oh my god, I can't talk. We need to be able to hit it and trigger its death animation, which are the 2 frames that you have after that. Nothing too difficult. We're going to set as the same collision event with the hammer or box collision as we did for Topi's death. Just going to give him a death state, have it stop moving, run through those cycles, and then disappear. The only reason that I want to hold off on that is... Oh, I'm sorry. Virginia. Hello? No, it's not. Where were we? Alright. So there's a point system, and only some things kind of count towards these points that are all calculated at the end of the round. It's how many of the, I guess, vegetables that you collect from the top of the mountain. There's a multiplier for that. There's a multiplier for how many, I guess, ice chunks you broke. Is there one for the bird? I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 things that you can collect points from, and I kind of want that system to happen first, and then we'll go break the ice from there. But for now, if you kill the Topi while he's pushing the ice will destroy, so we're at least somewhat there. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that I got that figured out, and I wish it were done a little bit better, but we are where we are. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the hell out of your day, and I'll see you next time.